am very upset on how
That it
damn
look
good
too.
that movie looks. Yo, I went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 last night and saw that trailer again. And I was like, I am upset. Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in cause the showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, Phoop, Ryun, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I am your host, Phoop, joined by my co-host, Ryun. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming service, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get updates from the mob.
And if you lovely Blerds and nerds are watching us on YouTube right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those bell notifications, and share it with a friend. Even if you ain't like the video. Gotta get that.
How that work? Bruh, I hated this video so bad, but check this out.
So that don't happen.
It does. It does.
Look, I saw some on Twitter and I was like, bro, there are so many people who are hated into popularity.
Mm-hmm.
If you hate us into popularity. Get us that engagement, bro.
They be like, man, I hate this so bad. And then when people go on, you know how you quote tweets, people quote tweets.
Yeah.
And it's like, I disagree with this because this. Then they get more people to watch the video. Hey.
Retweets, likes, shares on Instagram, TikTok. They get notoriety. They making money.
Yeah. Until it gets to a point, then you reach the status, then you do something, and then it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
Really.
But then folks love hating them. And sometimes the folks who will support the people that y'all hate, they finding them now. They giving them real support. They actually love them.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's crazy. The days of social media are it's crazy.
It's interesting, bro.
Very interesting. But what's been going on, Ron? Season 4, summer's almost here. What's the word?
Weather good. This weekend I'm going to let me pronounce it right. The Scarsboro Renaissance Festival. I'm gonna be real. I did not know Renaissance Festivals were real. I thought they were just on Disney Channel and live action Nickelodeon shows. And I saw it. It looked dope. I don't think it's cosplaying only for like comic books and stuff, or is it any type of costume?
I would assume
cosplay's like when you replicate somebody. Okay, so I got like my medieval cosplay. I'm a
or you could say you dressing up. You know, you dressing up to fit the theme.
Fair enough. I'm dressing to fit the theme. It's going to be dope. I'm excited.
That's what's up. You'll have to let me know how it is. My aunt and my cousin went to a Renaissance fair in DC. They said it's hella good food, drinks. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do dress up. They only warning was if you're ever thinking about going to a Renaissance fair, do not wear your good shoes.
Cause all the dirt on the ground.
Yeah. Do not wear your good shoes. That was their only advice. But they had a good time.
Bet.
So you'll have to, on the next episode, you'll have to let everybody know how it went.
I got you. The only thing I'm missing is a sword, because I was going to be out of budget. I was like, I'm going to go hard, but I can't go too hard on my bank account.
Man, if you don't go to Dollar Tree and check out their toy section and get one of them
Nerf
plastic swords. They don't be Nerf swords. They be like real swords. They just plastic and they cost $1.25.
I want a full-length European broadsword.
You want all that fancy stuff.
I want to fit the theme,
You're not gonna do nothing with you're not gonna do nothing with that sword. Just keep it on the side.
It's to be provocative. When it goes with my outfit,
it's gonna be on the side.
Look, bro. Listen.
He said if I'm getting a sword, I'm getting the sword.
Exactly.
The sword.
Exactly. Look, and if I enjoy it enough, there's a even bigger one that's in October, just called the Texas State Renaissance Festival. So if I love this one enough, my costume gonna be even better for the next one.
Hey, that's what's up. I hope you enjoy it though.
I appreciate you. What you got going or going?
I'm ready for the summer. The summer is my favorite season. Like I'm ready to just get in my car and burn up. Barely be able to touch the steering wheel. I want to go outside in the sun, glistening on my skin. We outside.
That melanin glow.
That melanin glow. That's the only thing I don't like about living up here. Not the summer, but like when the summer ends and it just get like real cold and stuff, like that drastic weather difference. Like I want to go somewhere, or I would like to live somewhere that summer be summer, and then when it get to the fall and winter months, like it'd be like in the 50s and 60s. You know, we not out here dying, but it ain't like super warm out here neither.
I'm going to migrate to Texas. Another one of my homeboys from college, he called me yesterday. He just made it out here. I'm going to move out here before the cost of living get too high.
And we'll see. I need to finish my master's degree. My plan was to finish my master's degree and then move. So we'll just have to see what stuff looking like.
Bet. How much longer you got left in your master's?
I got like 3 semesters left.
Okay.
So took a break off this semester. I'm gonna be back in the fall, do that spring. Actually, I got 4 semesters now that I think about it. Cause fall, spring, another fall, or if I do a summer, I don't know, man.
A summer in it, yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. It's 3 or 4. I guess 3.
She said, "I ain't." Do it look like I got my curriculum in front of me?
Right. I don't have the spreadsheet in front of me. It's one of them numbers. Listen, it got tough. I switched my curriculum back to doing 1 class a semester. So I think that'll help, with everything that happened last semester. We're trying to do 2 classes, podcast, work.
Right.
Shit got hectic. So
look, bro, it's because of you. Once I started my MBA program, I was like, I ain't going past 1 class. Phoop suffered enough for me. I learn from others. I don't learn from my own mistakes. I ain't got to make a mistake.
That joint is crazy because the amount of work that these classes give you is about the work of like 2 classes. You got 1 class I had was back-to-back reports, then a report, a paper, a reporting paper, they report, a project, presentation, all that stuff. It got to be too much. When it got to December,
yeah,
shit starts stacking up.
And that was around the time we started doing more stuff for the podcast.
Heck yeah. Like that whole October month when we was doing that tournament and then all the mob reviews and them episodes in between.
Yeah.
I was dying.
I already know.
I was dying. So
crazy that was way back in October. Don't even feel like it.
For real though. And it's about to come back around. We 5 months out from another October. It's crazy.
Bro, we already 5 months into the year, bro.
And what was it? 2 years ago? Not 2 years ago. 2 days ago marks 4 years from when we graduated from Jackson State. That's crazy. I was just talking with my best friend yesterday. We went out to eat and I was like, I've been knowing you for like 7 years. And he sat there and thought about it. He was like, it's been 7 years. It's been 7 years, dog.
7 years, bro. Look, we almost had our 10-year reunion from high school.
And I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I was 16 10 years ago. 10 years ago, dog?
10 years ago. 10 years ago.
That shit our parents was talking about. I remember my dad, when I was in college, my dad was like, enjoy these college years because, once it's over, it's over.
Because we took advantage of it. But it's like, we took so much advantage of it that I miss it. Like, it was so convenient to where you could just call your friends. Hey, pull up. Okay, I'm walking out my dorm right now. They in your room 2 minutes later.
Like, I have some really good memories from college. I definitely agree. Like, we made the most of our college years. Like, sometimes I talk to people and there's like, I didn't really enjoy my college years or whatever. And I was like, nah, I had a blast.
I can't relate to that.
We was lit. We was lit. Like, from the L's I took to the parties, the W's. Come on.
Bro, I was telling somebody the other day, like, bro, I would alternate between work, class for the first 8 hours of the day. The next 6 hours of the day, I was in the library. But here's the thing. Once every month or so, we threw our own party and we let it all out.
we threw that party. Like, The funniest thing about the library sessions is that we would be in the library for like 6 hours and ain't nobody getting nothing done. And then once we realize nobody got nothing done, we'll just go to Waffle House. Waffle House.
Or IHOP.
Honestly, I feel like some people sat in the library with us because they know we going to get something to eat.
Look, bro, it got to the point so many classmates just started joining in. They was like, y'all in the library? Man, we there every day. Every day. We ain't missing a beat.
But I think even though sometimes we really ain't getting no work done, I think it was some people did get their work done. Or even like motivated, to get that motivation. Let me at least do this one thing before I leave the library. And I think it was dope because you, me, and a couple other of our friends, we all took classes together. So then that was just like,
exactly.
That whole college was a good time. College was a good time.
Shout out to the college students who may be watching us. Stay motivated. It's gonna pay off.
Stay motivated. Have a good time. Don't be afraid to take no L. Like, I remember taking L's on like tests and stuff and just going to give me something to eat. You just gotta push through it.
Exactly. You're gonna fail a class. You're gonna fail a class. It's gonna happen.
I ain't fail no class. I might fail a test, but I ain't fail no class.
Okay. Phoop is a robot. Y'all don't, before y'all think, oh, I can avoid failing. Phoop had like a 3.8 GPA. She ain't average. The average person, when you fail that one class and you got to retake it, don't feel bad. I failed one. Don't feel bad.
I ain't failed no class.
Almost valedictorian, president's list every semester.
Oh, I got president's list one time at Jackson State, and that was my freshman year.
Man,
I never got president's list ever again. A dean's list, not president's list.
I ain't start getting on dean's list consistently until like the end of sophomore year. When I finally got my stuff together, I was like, it's time to focus for real now.
That's when we really start getting into them library sessions. That was crazy. But let's go ahead and get into these topics. We got a couple down the list. I want to start with this one. It came out a couple weeks ago, but we have to discuss it. You know how we are. We got some revivals and some reboots on the way. I'm going to save the biggest one for last. We're going to talk about the smaller ones first. But one, they got Totally Spies coming back to Cartoon Network in 2024. Futurama is coming back to Hulu this summer. And then we got a Twilight reboot that I couldn't find the year that is coming out. It's by Lionsgate Television. And I couldn't find what streaming service is supposed to be going on, but I could have sworn I saw something that said it was going to be on Peacock.
If it's on Peacock, I'll say no earlier than late 2024 will be the... If they're announcing it...
If they're announcing it now, without like... I don't even think they said it was in development. I just think they just announced it. So I would think maybe 2026. I would almost even say 2027 with this writer's strike going on.
You know what? That is probably going to impact a lot of stuff. I mean, not probably. It is impacting a lot of stuff.
It is going to impact a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to affect everything that is getting off the ground. Like, Disney just had to pause Blerd again because of the writer's strike. Saturday Night Live is done until the writers come back. They are not airing any more episodes. Abbott Elementary hasn't started doing anything for the third season because of the writer's strike. Like, these companies are trying to tell you that this writer's strike is not going to affect what they got going on, but y'all,
no.
Let's be for real.
When you organize a legitimate strike or protest like that, because I'm all for it. It is a part of our American right. But when you organize some stuff like this, it moves mountains. It affects stuff. We finna see a lot of things on pause.
And I'm not trying to shame the writer's strike or anything at all. Like, get your money. The way, because I was talking with my friend the other day, you might sell a company, like, your script for, like, let's just say you sell it for $20K. They put it into production and they make 20 mil off of it. You don't get none of that. You just got that 20K that they gave you for buying your script, and they just made 20 mil. Like,
yeah, and a lot of companies they switch up how they want to pay the producer versus the director versus the actor versus the writers. And it's like, yeah, the actor's all up in your face, but let's not discredit the fact that everybody from sound to light effects to the costume designers all played an effect in making these projects big. And you got to give folks their fair or equitable share. You
for
got
real.
to.
And let me say this, and then we're going to go back to the reboots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It came out, when the writer's strike happened, it came out that Rings of Power Season 2 was going to finish filming the second season without the writers on set. And if y'all remember our mob review from Season 1, I just think that is a bad idea.
Listen, the AI might do better than the original writers. No offense to him. No offense.
The AI might do worse. Like, what?
I'm probably not watching it anyway. I'm gonna be honest. Shout out to the writers, but I'm probably not watching the folks who make Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Because it came out at the same time that said where they announced that House of the Dragon Season 2 was already done. The writing, the script, the production was pretty much done before the strike even started, and then turned around, and then the Rings of Power was like, yeah, we just gonna finish filming. And to me, that just sounds like a bad idea.
Look, shout out to House of Dragon Season 2, though. I can't wait to see that.
Man. But going back to these revivals and reboots, before we get to the big one, how are you feeling about Futurama, Totally Spies, and Twilight?
I am genuinely interested in Totally Spies because I feel like I want to see if it's a show I could watch now. Like, now that I'm a little bit older with more mature eyes, would I still enjoy it? I think I would. So I'm interested to see how they do that. Futurama, I was always a fan of Futurama. When it comes to that adult comedy and adult audience-focused cartoons, loved Futurama. Twilight, I like Twilight, but not enough to peak for the books to pique my interest, like, say, Harry Potter or even Game of Thrones, even though I've yet to read the Game of Thrones books. But I did enjoy Twilight. I'm interested, very interested and intrigued to see what they do with that series. I'm going to watch it, but I don't know if I can be excited or not for it. You know what I mean? Is that like a weird sensation?
No, I don't think it is. I think on my end, I am curious on how they're going to do the comedy on Futurama. My biggest interest in Futurama is the comedy and the animation. I'm definitely interested on how they're going to do that, but I did enjoy Futurama back in the day, so it's when that first episode drops, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah. Totally Spies, y'all already know how I feel about Totally Spies. I was watching Totally Spies this morning. Like, stop playing with me. Like, I want the outfits, the gadgets,
all of it.
Like, but my thing about Totally Spies though is when it's coming in 2024, like when Totally Spies first aired, like in the 2000 era, they did a really good job of like adapting the gadgets, the clothing styles, the whole Beverly Hills vibe to like the 2000s.
Right.
So I am excited to see what they take from current society, like the tech, how Beverly Hills now, maybe some of the environmental issues, like what their missions are going to be like, because they did have like some environment-based type missions and things like that. Like, how is all of that going to tie into what Totally Spies is in 2024? So I'm definitely excited.
I'm also interested to see who Totally Spies' audience is, because if I remember correctly, yes, it was for the kids, but it had like some mature tones, like kind of mature as in like on the level of like Ben 10 and like Generator Rex. Like teenagers could very much enjoy it. You know what I mean?
And then it got bigger. I would say it got a bit more mature because I want to say it's either season 4 or season 5. They end up graduating high school. So now they get into the point where like this is pre-high school life.
Yeah. like, I wonder if they're going to go the Total Drama route, because I think they got a new series coming out, but Total Drama never stopped rebooting. I wonder if they're going to be like, hey, this is really like teenager vibes. Little kids can enjoy it, but they may miss some of the jokes. Adults might mess with it depending on how they feel about this type of stuff, but you know what I mean? That more slightly mature, not adult audience, I would like to see that.
And that's a good point too. Like, who's their audience for this show? Like, is this for the fans of Totally Spies, or are they trying to, hey, let's bring Totally Spies back and see what of the younger generation we can get coming out of this?
Exactly. Because they could pull like a whole Ben 10 reboot, and it's like, nah, we're going for the kiddos. You know what I mean?
I would say the design, the promo that they put out, the animation does look different.
Yeah.
But they don't look super young either.
Yeah.
They look like they could be in college. Like, they could be freshmen or sophomores in college.
And that'll be interesting to see. That'll definitely be interesting. Because unlike Futurama, we know Futurama's for the adults who like crude humor. We know where they're going with that. And Twilight, we kind of know the audience for Twilight.
So I didn't watch the Twilight movies. So I'm not...
None of them?
No. They just really didn't grab my attention.
I'm not mad at that because it's kind of weird to decipher who the audience of Twilight is for. Because, like, you could arguably just say the teenage girls who like romance novels and romance movies, but not entirely. Like, I watched it because I have a fascination for werewolves and vampires. I don't like their take on werewolves and vampires, but it was very interesting. And for the most part, it was enough like action and intrigue and like the fantasy aspect for me to actually enjoy it.
I might catch, I don't know. I think for me to watch the reboot, I would need to see a trailer, because it was the same thing for Lord of the Rings for me, for Rings of Power.
Yeah,
like, I didn't watch the Lord of the Rings movies growing up, but when that first trailer for Rings of Power came out, I said, okay, this has grabbed my interest. This might, be pretty good. So I checked it out, and this just might be one of those situations. So we'll see. But the big one, arriving between 2025 and 2026, we have HBO Max's, now called Max's Harry Potter reboot. They are bringing an entirely new cast. This series is supposed to span 10 years. It is adapting all of the books. J.K. Rowling is on board with the reboot. And something that I did find out is that it is possible that Hermione's character will be a person of color.
I'm gonna be honest, I was a little upset by this reboot. Because I love Harry Potter, but I love it so much that I would rather they expand the world. That was my issue. But the movies did miss quite a few things from the books. I feel like the movies were amazing adaptations. I would love to see the books broken down, especially Goblet of Fire, and see what they do with that, and really seeing the Wizarding Cup.
That's the one they trimmed down for real.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that. I know J.K. Rowling got some political like issues and all that other stuff, but the original author being a part of this also gives me hope that it's going to stay true to the books. So I'm interested in seeing what they do. I'm just a little butthurt.
My only counter argument, because I agree, I think if there's any chance to expand in the Harry Potter universe, I think we should expand elsewhere instead of doing a reboot of something that we already got 7 movies out of. I agree with you.
Multiple video games too.
Yeah. However, their attempt to step outside of that lore failed miserably. Fantastic Beasts had no book lore at all. And that might have been like 2 years ago, a year or two ago, where we did that Fantastic Beasts mob review, and that did not exceed expectations at all.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, they dropped the ball, but I want to know, like, who do we blame for that? Did they just need better writers? You know what I'm saying? Because if a great writer,
or what was the plan? You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
my biggest gripe about Fantastic Beasts is that when that second movie hit, it stopped being about the animals and it started to be about Dumbledore and Grindelwald. And if that's the story that you wanted to tell, I'm not mad at that, because that is a piece of Harry Potter lore that we don't know too much about.
exactly.
But don't focus in on that storyline and then call it Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the thing. I feel like whether it was the writers, directors, or producers, they didn't have an established vision. Because if y'all was going to do Fantastic Beasts, I'm gonna be honest, y'all should have hired the writers behind Hogwarts Legacy when they did what's her name, Poppy storyline.
That was after that though, when they started doing all that stuff with Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, but that's what a story about Beast should have been. You know what I mean? Like that's what that story would have looked like if it was done right.
I agree. And I think what should be happening at this point with the success of Hogwarts Legacy and the fact that you can take a group of people and write a good Harry Potter Wizarding World story without JK being involved, I really think that should have just pushed everybody to be like, hey, we can write stories outside of Harry Potter and them and make good money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole thing, what I really liked about Hogwarts Legacy is that even though you got the Easter eggs into wizarding families that we did hear about from Harry Potter, we are meeting completely new people that we've never heard before.
Exactly.
We are stepping into pieces of the Wizarding World lore that we have not seen in Harry Potter at all.
But it's this thing though, and it's one thing that really made Hogwarts Legacy stand out, and that's that the people involved in its development love the franchise. When you see a lot of franchise reboots, like we see the issues going on with the Witcher series on Netflix and a few others, you got to figure out what's everybody's intention. Is your intention just to make money? Is your intention to be on a blockbuster product and get your name out there? Or is your intention to deliver something as a fan for the fans?
I feel like this is a money grab. And my biggest reason of why I think the Harry Potter reboot is a money grab is because Disney is doing Percy Jackson. And that's a immediate competitor.
It is
to
direct
Harry
competitor.
Potter.
Yeah.
That's a direct competitor to Harry Potter. Now I feel like that's the only reason why this is coming about.
See, and that's the thing. Even if it is, like, I feel like you can, like, the three things I just named, I feel like you can do all three simultaneously. If you can get some Harry Potter fans on this, like, get people who truly love the franchise, who've read all the books, who've watched the movies, played the games, they know their house, they've got sorted, and they telling their kids about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Get them involved with this project. Have them working alongside the writers, have them working alongside JK, get all of their opinions, what they loved about the franchise, what did we the fans want to see, instead of just saying, we're here to make money. Because if you're here to make money, here's the contradiction. If you don't do it right, you're not going to make no money. People are going to watch season 1. It's Harry Potter.
I think they have no room to get this wrong because we already have the movies. The big question is, what are you guys going to do that the movies did not do?
Exactly.
Because I read the Harry Potter books, and the first movie and the second movie are basically the books. Now, when we get into the later movies, that's when they started to change things up, leave things out. And off rip, if this is going to be a series, let's go ahead and put those pieces back in. Those pieces that you had to leave out because you didn't want to make a 3-hour movie, let's get that back in.
Exactly.
But what's the next big thing that you guys are going to do that the movies haven't already done?
Which characters are we finna expand upon? Which professors are we finna learn more about? What environments are we finna see? What other places in Hogsmeade are we finna see? They need to do all of that justice.
Or what side characters are they going to give more light to, more insight to? Because I could definitely see them giving Draco a bigger piece of this series than he had in the movies. Because you and me, we always talked about, that what would really be dope if that they did a series on like the Slytherin side or that dark magic side of the Wizarding World. And if they were to focus on Draco, bring him more up as a character, give him a bit more lore behind him, we could really see that.
And
That whole Chamber of Secrets type thing with Lucius and all of that, I could really see them fleshing that out and making it worth something
and
in a
also
series.
and also exploring more of Hogwarts, because that was part of the beauty of Hogwarts Legacy. Being able to just see the Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff's common rooms and all of that other stuff, like, allow us to see all of it. Don't force it in there. But you know what I mean? We got characters like Luna Lovegood, and who was the girl that liked Cedric? What was her name? The other Ravenclaw?
Can't somebody remember. Cho. Her last name was Cho, but I forgot.
Yeah. Give us, y'all ain't got to give us full on episodes, but give us a little bit more time with Luna. Give us a little bit more time with Cho. Give us some more time with Neville, like he got in the books, because he got more attention in the books than the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let us see more of them. Involve all of them.
If they are planning, the fact that this is 10 years, they're about to take 7 books and turn this into 10 years, I expect to see what you're asking for. Mm-hmm. A bit more deep dive into these characters, a bit more of these plot points fleshed out, a bit more time with certain high points in the series, like the Chambers of Secrets. Like that final fight between Harry and Voldemort could be like 3 episodes if you guys really wanted to. If you really wanted to, it could be like 3 episodes. So it really just depends on how they said they're adapting all the books. So I'm hoping for a true adaptation. But my biggest thing is what are you guys going to give us that we didn't see in the movies?
Exactly, because if it's too redundant, there's no point in us watching it. Aside from the better graphics, if you add stuff that we didn't ask for, that wasn't even in the books, that's unnecessary or goes against the lore, we're going to be angry. So you got to walk a fine line of doing justice to it.
I don't think they have any room to mess this up. Mm-hmm. They don't have any room to mess this up.
Because if they mess up season 1, you might as well cancel it. Because Harry Potter fans, when it comes to fandoms, the Harry Potter fandom, like with this Hogwarts Legacy stuff, they strong.
And this is like, to me, this is one of the most controversial fandoms because of how people feel about the universe themselves and how they feel about J.K. Rowling. Mm-hmm. So for you guys to say that you guys are doing a reboot of the original series, this is controversy. Like the controversy that you guys saw with Hogwarts Legacy, I feel like to me this might be 10 times that.
Because it's going to be a longer period of time. You're going to see this come up with season 1, season 2, 3, 4. If y'all doing one season per book.
Especially, it's going to happen earlier than that when they start casting people. This is an entirely new cast with a rumor that Hermione might be a person of color.
Exactly. And it's like you're going to play a fine line between, do we want to add diversity for the sake of diversity? Do we want it to match the books? Where some people weren't clearly defined out, because people are going to have expectations. And honestly, one thing that they're going to have to accept, and it's hard to do this, you're going to have to accept you ain't making everybody happy. So you got to choose. You really got to choose who you want to impress or not, because someone's going to be upset.
When this really starts getting off the ground, when we start getting news about production and the cast and stuff like that, I'm interested to see what choices are made in regards to the series. Mm-hmm. But let's move on to our next topic. So CinemaCon happened a couple weeks ago. We got trailers for a couple movies that are coming out later this year, and then some movies we just got a bit more news from. The biggest ones for me is Insidious: The Red Door. I love the Insidious franchise. We got the first trailer for Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Looked lit, not gonna lie.
Hey. And
hey.
We got another Flash trailer, and I am very upset on how damn good that movie looks. Yo, I went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 last night and saw that trailer again, and I was like, I am upset on how good this movie looks. I like seeing it now. I understand why Warner Brothers could not take a L.
Yeah, Warner Brothers said, "No, y'all getting this. Y'all can be mad all y'all want. Y'all gonna see this."
Like, I understand why they could not take a L on this. I'm not happy about it, no. But I understand from a business standpoint on why you guys could not take a L on this movie. This movie looks like just from the trailers that we have seen, this movie is look like it's about to be damn good.
This movie is going to be a great reset for the DC universe. It looks good.
Yeah. But those were my big three. Oh, if I had to do a 4, we got a little more footage from the Little Mermaid movie that's coming out later this month. And to me, I feel like this might be one of the good live action adaptations from Disney, in my personal opinion.
See, I was never much of a Disney fan anyway, but I'm going to watch it. Little Mermaid, arguably, not even arguably, was one of the few Disney princess movies that I enjoyed. It was Little Mermaid and Aladdin, but well, his girl counts as a princess, but with Aladdin,
she counts, but that's not her solo movie though. But I feel what you're saying though.
Because like Little Mermaid and Aladdin, and I'm not, obviously Lion King, but when it comes to the ones with princesses in it, those are the few movies that I actually enjoyed as a kid. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna check it out.
My favorite Disney princess movie is Beauty and the Beast, and it wasn't the worst one, but I kind of feel like they put some plot lines in there that wasn't necessarily needed. Mm-hmm. Like, Disney did make some good live action adaptations. The Cinderella one was really good. Maleficent with Angelina Jolie.
I heard a lot of people love that.
Great. The first one and the second one are really good. Cruella was good. I didn't like Aladdin too much.
I actually watched Aladdin.
They did a whole music video in the middle of the movie. Like, who does that?
And that's the thing. Like, I understand y'all trying to adapt the animation to live action, but there's certain things you can do in animation that you can't do in live action, and vice versa. Yeah. And it just didn't fit the live action movie.
But this one looks like it's gonna be pretty good. I'm excited. I love Ailey Bailey and her voice. Like, just hearing her sing, like the bits and pieces that I've heard of her singing Part of Your World. I was like, yeah, she finna be singing. She about to be singing.
If ain't nothing else good, the singing is about to be there.
Yo. But going back to the Insidious franchise, they are bringing back the cast from the first movie, the first and second movie for this one. And I was like, yeah, let's go. They said that this is the movie that's supposed to wrap up the whole franchise. And I'm excited. Insidious was that first scary movie franchise that really got me into like scary suspense movies. Because when I was a little kid, I didn't like scary movies at all. But watching Insidious, I was like, okay, I can get down with this.
See, Insidious was the last franchise that actually scared me because, and don't y'all talk about my mama. My mama loved horror movies, and I'll have to sit there and watch them with her. Every Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Ring, the other little spin-off Skeleton Keys, and all them little horror movies. I was sitting there watching them with her. And it got to the point where horror movies didn't really scare me. I'll just be laughing at them. But Insidious, the first movie, was the last movie that actually scared me. I went to sleep and I was scared to like look up at the roof. I thought that red man.
You thought the red face man?
Yes, bro. I'm dead serious, bro. That was the last movie to scare me.
What I really liked about Insidious was the concept that they played on like the paranormal and like the demons and stuff. Yeah. Like, imagine falling asleep and you think you're dreaming, but you're in the spirit world, and when you wake up, you meaning to tell me a demon followed me out of the spirit world while I was sleeping? I didn't even know I did this.
Exactly. It explored that supernatural stuff. They did a really good twist on it.
Like, really after I watched Insidious, that's when I really got into like Paranormal Activity and things like that. Like, the concept of what Insidious is really what grabbed me the most.
Yeah. And because Paranormal Activity, I'll even say that was funny to me. I ain't gonna lie. Paranormal Activity had me
tripping out. The scariest one is the Mark ones for me. The rest of them, I laugh. Because, like, what are y'all doing?
Exactly.
But the Mark ones, that's the one that shook me up. So
fair enough.
That one shook me up. That one was actually pretty scary. The way that they did the filming and stuff. So, but let's talk about Hunger Games though.
You know what? not to revert back to our old topic, I'm surprised that ain't nobody tried to turn that into a series. It might be coming in the future.
But it's possible that this
Mm-hmm.
is they're rebooting on the cinematic side, the movie side, instead of the
Mm-hmm.
series side. Because who's to say that they're gonna just do Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and that's gonna be it?
Facts.
I could honestly see this turning into maybe another trilogy or 4 movies like they did with the original Hunger Games series. And based off the trailer, I would not be mad at that.
See, I'm excited because Hunger Games was never my favorite franchise. It was never one of my favorite franchises, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's one of them sevens, in like I know it's probably like a 10 by most people's eyes, but it's one of those sevens for me. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
really like
enjoy
the
it when
Hunger
it comes
Games.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this trailer, it got me hyped. It got me hyped. I might pay for IMAX. It got me hyped.
I like the concept of it because the way they're setting up the stage is like, okay, we've been doing the Hunger Games for a while, but this is the first time we're actually going to make it that big spectacle interview, Met Gala type event that you
Yeah.
see in the original 4 movies. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is when they were like, we want you to turn these tributes into spectacles. We really want the crowd, like, yeah, we've been doing the Hunger Games, this just a pointer, but I really want you to make a show out of this.
Yeah. And how many of them has it been at this point again? Like, how many Hunger Games have they had at this point?
I don't remember what the number was.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be really interesting just to see how that got started, because we're going to be following President Snow when he's younger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. I'm very interested to see Viola Davis's character and how she plays a part into this.
And Tyrion Lannister?
Hey.
He here.
I think putting him in Hunger Games is very fitting. I really like to see him in like those type of movies,
cynical type scenes and all
like
that,
dystopian and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. That was one of the movies that was on my most anticipated list for 2023. So the trailer has definitely got me excited.
For sure.
A couple other like small news that we got from CinemaCon is that Sony's Kraven the Hunter is gonna be Sony's first rated R movie.
Interesting.
Bad Boys 4 is in production with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
Interesting.
They're gonna be dropping a Transformers animated, it's either a movie or a series, I can't remember, called Transformers 1, with Chris Hemsworth being Optimus Prime. That's the biggest takeaway that I got from it, because now we're about to have this Chris Pratt Mario conversation again, but Thor as Optimus Prime.
That I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to feel about it.
Because I really think what Michael Bay's Transformers series and what this rebooted Transformers series has done has established a tone for Optimus Prime. And not saying that Chris Hemsworth can't fit into that, but just me seeing him as Thor and then trying to transfer that into Optimus Prime. Like, Optimus Prime is that Captain America of the Autobots. Like, that man made me want to be a truck. Like, so how is that going to transfer over?
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I enjoyed the Transformers cartoons that came out after the original ones. I didn't watch the original animation, but the one that came after. I enjoyed that as a kid. So I don't know how to feel about this. It got me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm interested to see how it plays out. When that first trailer drops, that's going to set the stage.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So, CinemaCon brought us some good news. It brought us some interesting news. I am ready to see how all of these movies play out as the year goes. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is coming out in June. Flash is coming out in June.
We already
Blue
talked about
Beetle.
Blue Beetle. Yeah.
Blue Beetle's in August.
Mm-hmm.
Was anything coming? I don't remember anything coming out in September, but I know we're
When's
getting the
when's
Marvels
that
in
Aquaman
November.
movie coming out?
That's
That's
coming
next
out in
year.
December.
December. Okay. Okay.
So it's gonna be interesting. We gonna see.
So the expectations that this Flash movie is going to do the time paradox and reset everything back to the Flashpoint thing.
It's gonna be an adaptation of Flashpoint Paradox.
So is Aquaman and Blue Beetle taking place after the time shift or before? Or we don't know.
My assumption for Blue Beetle is that it's gonna take place after, but I don't know.
Right.
And Aquaman, I have no clue. Because
All right, James
Aquaman was supposed to come out last year. And they pushed it back.
All right, James Gunn. That's all I can say. Make some magic.
I think he has a plan. I think James Gunn has a plan. I'm just curious to see where he's going to place in these movies that were already established before he stepped into the role. And how he's going to fit those storylines into what he has planned.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm interested to see, because right now we're just about to see projects that were pre-established before him.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in those too, but I'm ready for James Gunn with what he has planned. What's coming off his dome. I'm ready to see that. They said that there's a rumor that around the time of San Diego Comic-Con, we will know who's going to play Superman in his DCU. And I honestly feel like that's going to set the stage going forward.
Yeah. I just want to see the other heroes. I'll be real, I'm not even excited for Superman. I want to see everybody else. I want to see this Justice League come to life.
But it starts with Superman.
Yeah.
It starts with Superman. Like, I understand you not being excited, but I need you to realize the impact of who plays Superman is going to set the tone for the DCU going forward.
Yeah, like it has to be good for everything else I want to be good. It got to be. Yeah, I feel that.
So you don't like Superman is not my favorite DC character, but I understand that who you pick to be Superman is the same thing of who you pick to be Captain America, who you pick to be Iron Man, who you pick to be the next Black Panther. Like, that impacts a lot. Like, I would even say Batman. Like, when they get to the point of announcing who's going to be the next Batman, that's gonna be a lot. Honestly, the big three, when they announce Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman,
I'm gonna be real.
That's gonna set something. That's gonna set the stage.
Even though the most recent Wonder Woman movie wasn't that good, what's her name? Oh my gosh, I never remember her. Gal Gadot. Honestly,
Gal Gadot, boy.
She's like the perfect. She's like the perfect Wonder Woman. I'm not gonna cap.
She did look really good as Wonder Woman.
I'm accustomed to seeing her now. All right, but she should be a recast in my opinion. Like, she should stay the same.
My only concern is that James Gunn said the reason why James Gunn said he didn't want to go with Henry Cavill is because he wanted to focus on a younger Superman.
Makes sense.
So it really just depends on what point is Wonder Woman going to be introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to get a younger Superman, you can't put Gal Gadot in it because she's Wonder Woman. She did really good as Wonder Woman, but she's older.
Yeah, she's a mature Wonder Woman, yeah.
Right, and it's the same thing with Ben Affleck as Batman and the rest of the characters. Like, if we're gonna go for a younger Justice League when they first formed up, then we're gonna have to get some younger actors into the mix.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But so the way that James Gunn is doing, he's doing like DCU Chapter 1, Chapter 2, or whatever. If we get to Chapter 3, and it's been a couple years, and then at Chapter 3, it's like, okay, we're about to introduce Wonder Woman, and then it makes sense for Gal Gadot to come back, then it's like, okay, that's fine, because we already fuck with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Loved her. That's one of those castings that's it just came out perfect. At first I was like, really? I did, because I was used to seeing her in Fast and Furious.
Right.
But once I saw her in the outfit, I was like, That's Wonder Woman. Y'all did
Yeah.
that. That's Wonder Woman.
I think she did really good, but I really just, it depends on what James Gunn has planned.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Get it
but the
poppin',
last
James.
So we got 3 more topics where we're getting to the point, getting almost close to the hour. The 3 topics we have left, I'm gonna let you choose, Ron. We got Sony's rumored handheld device, the Q Lite, the recent developments in AI, and then the anime industry currently being worth over 28 billion US dollars.
We kind of touched on the AI with the authors. PSP coming back is kind of like, I ain't got nothing to say about it. We can do the anime. We can do that.
All right.
I'm a pick anime. I'm a pick anime.
So let's talk about it. It came out a couple weeks ago that the anime industry is currently worth over $28 billion USD. Now, for me, since COVID, I have seen a lot happening to the anime community as far as the community itself, the
Facts.
merch, the
Mhm.
conversations, the things that have been forming around it. And I just want to know, with us finally getting a number on it, like all of this leading up to this moment of what it's worth currently, how do we feel about the growth of the anime community?
Honestly, it makes sense, and I can't wait for it to grow more. Like, as somebody who was in the early stages of anime coming to America, not the super early, I wasn't like OG Dragon Ball, Akira, and all of that when they was releasing episodically. I came in around the time the big 3 first was coming to Toonami. It's been dope. We went from watching all of our anime on clients and all of those piracy websites to now Kodansha, Viz, and everybody got portable apps to where you can read your manga online from chapter by chapter. And it's well deserved. We're seeing the growth. Different communities are getting involved into it. We got highly anticipated live actions like with One Piece. We used to just be like, don't do it, and now some people are excited for it. We got the rise of merch companies like Atsuko, Hypeland, shout out to Jordan, Anime Ape, and they're starting to grow. Seeing the industry grow has been lovely because now anime is on the same level as sports almost. And that's crazy. I'm seeing people with Tundra Komodo t-shirts, just like I'm seeing folks with Miami Heat and LA Lakers jerseys. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I just want the newer fans welcome. Make sure to pay homage to the old stuff. Because you gotta know where we started, you gotta know where you came from. Get involved with the manga. Buy merch is great, but the licensed merch is what supports the mangakas. This is a industry that started in Japan. So because it's not an American industry, not everything you buy is going back to the creators. So pay attention to that. If we want to see it really grow, make sure that the mangakas get their money and they know that their projects are making you happy. That's the only thing I'll say.
I definitely agree with that. I'm one of the new head anime watchers.
New
I'm one of the young bucks in the anime community. But I definitely think it's dope, like seeing it grow, getting to the point, like you brought up the merch. And then the biggest thing about that, like I'm a big clothes person. So like 10 years ago, stores like Forever 21, Rue 21, PacSun, places like that, you would walk in and you wouldn't see like anime clothing. Like you would see something like that like at Spencer's, Hot Topic,
one or two Naruto
Walmart.
shirts.
Right. But now it's kind of like it's a must have. Like we have to have anime merch in our store.
Exactly.
I went to Forever 21 like a week ago and they had Hunter x Hunter shirts, Naruto shirts. You can go inside of Route 21. It's the same thing. Like every store at this point has some type of anime merch. Because
Macy's got a little bit.
JCPenney, like JCPenney is known for having like their graphic tees, but you get to the point where you start seeing like the anime merch getting mixed in because they used to do like it wasn't uncommon to see like a Batman shirt, Superman shirt,
Exactly.
or the video games like Sonic, Mario, things like that, or even when they do like different brands or whatever. But now you look into that mix and you can find you an anime shirt.
Exactly.
And I like it. And the other thing that I like about the growth of the anime community is like the celebrity involvement of it.
Mm-hmm.
You have celebrities like T-Pain, Megan Thee Stallion, who are off the gate telling you that they have this interest in anime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's becoming so, it's not something that, you know, you gotta hide, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's coming to the forefront. And the last thing I like about it, and this could be like a gift and a curse, but at this point, but seeing some of these corporations getting into the anime industry. Like a while back, we talked about Disney. Netflix has already created some of its own anime content. I think
Mm-hmm.
Max is supposed to be getting something, but like getting like is they're seeing like the community get more into it to the point that, you know, we're getting
They,
more stuff, we're getting more people, we're giving different ways of imagining of what this animation and what these stories could look like.
yeah. Now the one thing I do like, because now that the companies are recognizing it, you know, conventions like alongside DreamCon, Anime Expo, and all of them, anime convention in New York City,
Mm-hmm.
because it's getting so big, now these conventions can grow because when companies like Coca-Cola
Wants to
start
sponsor
supporting
your
these
convention.
yeah, when those
Hey,
companies start sponsoring you, you can do nothing but grow. So that's what I'm really excited for, because it's getting to that point. It's getting closer and closer to that point to where, are we finna get an American anime theme park? Is that finna come out in like the
I think
next
that might
10
be dope.
years?
I That's a good point, because if we want to talk about Universal Studios Japan, like they're
Mm-hmm.
about to get a Hunter x Hunter attraction. They already got Demon Slayer.
Exactly.
They have something with Attack on Titan,
Naruto's
and
already
then
established out there, I
they
think.
have a Naruto land or world, and then I think they have a Hello Kitty type thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if they were to bring that over to Universal Studios in Hollywood or Universal Studios in Orlando, or even if they wanted to do something in the theme park they're currently building up, Epic Universe, I think that would be dope.
Exactly. Like if we got like a Shonen Jump land, we see all the big three probably add Fairy Tail and all the major ones you know about. Are we finna get some themed rides? Like the more it grows, yeah, you got the folks who are just trying to make their money off of you and the big companies. But part of what comes into that is more things that we as consumers can truly enjoy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Now we got the weird stuff like Rick and Morty getting an anime. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I
That
feel about that either.
that's kind of unnecessary. But if you're telling me conventions growing, if you're telling me the culture is finna start impacting theme parks and stuff like that, they finna start growing, I'm all for it. I'm here for all of it.
You know, the other thing that I like about this growth in the anime community, and when you had brought up the Rick and Morty anime, I also like that other animation studios are trying to adapt some of that animation, some of that anime feel. Like
Yeah.
Star Wars Visions on Disney Plus is a series of like these short stories where every story is different and it's animated by a different animation studio.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the artwork is more Japanese animation, some of it. And I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty dope how we're like combining, you know, what American animation to what we see out of anime. And you could say the same thing about the clothing as well, just going into that, like how the like how our trends and our styles of wearing clothes or whatever is tying in into those anime characters. Of like the reason why you have on a Hisoka t-shirt right now, the reason why I have on this Sakura
Exactly.
t-shirt right now.
And it's beautiful to see it mesh. Because
Hmm.
yes, we're going to get the disgusting stuff, but you know what I mean? This Met Gala that just passed, what was the theme? I think it was like Chanel because
I
the owner
thought
passed. It was something, wasn't
I
it?
thought it was Young Hollywood.
It was something. Now what if Met Gala 2025 is anime themed? And now we seeing Diddy walk out in a cold Naruto based tux. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's interesting. The fans, the more this grows, the more we win. There's going to be some L's, but it's going to be a whole lot of W's coming out of it too, and I'm excited. I'm very, very excited.
I think I really just like the unity of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the anime community is huge, but I think like you're seeing like with some fandoms that you can always find your community.
Yeah.
And before I got into anime, I, being the DC Marvel head, like, okay, yeah, I can find a group of people and talk about this stuff with. But with the anime community, I feel like it's just easily accessible at this point to get sucked up in that community because there's so much anime out there that even if you miss one or even if you haven't watched the big three, you could find you an anime and find a group of people who also like the anime, and it's too easy at this point.
Exactly. Like you got the anime community, then you got like the 4 major demographics. You got shonen, seinen, shoujo, and josei. Then you branch out, and you can go into just shonen. You might not have watched the big 3. You might have only watched the newer stuff: My Hero, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, and JJK. And guess what? Each of them got their own communities.
Each of them have huge fandoms.
And they're big. Do all the power scaling arguments you want. Get all the costumes you want. Compare and contrast arts. And it allows you to be a part of something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for it all. I'm loving it. I'm a recent member of the One Piece community. And some of them are a little toxic. But the good folks, I'm loving it so far.
I feel like you're going to find toxicity in every community. Like I won't say still dealing with, but I still see toxicity in the DC or Marvel community to this day.
It's going to be there.
It's going to be there. But I think you just have to find the joy.
Yeah, like now the one group of toxic folks in the anime community I don't like, I don't like the elitist. Don't be attacking folks for being dubbed onlys. Like, I do encourage y'all to watch subs, but don't be like, oh, you're dub only. You're shonen, bro. You don't read no manga. Like, shut up. They're enjoying the IPs.
Let people enjoy the content they want to enjoy the content. The same reason why so many people are MCU heads and have not touched one damn Marvel comic. Like, let them have it. Let people enjoy the medium the way they want to.
Because it benefits you in the long run. The fact that they talking about it and watching it in that format allows for the stuff that you like to grow and have potential to grow. You know what I'm saying? Blue Exorcist Season 3 just got announced. I don't think that would
Fire Force Season 3 just got announced.
The franchises that are big but not on this level type big, now they're going to grow because all of these companies, they trying to buy the publishing rights. Disney's jumping into this stuff now. That's why Bleach is only on Hulu.
When that rumor came out that Bleach was going to be streaming on Disney Plus, but they actually just turned around and got Tokyo Revengers. I was surprised to see that.
And guess what? I ain't mad because I got Hulu. I ain't mad.
I think that just goes back into your streaming service thing of like how we have all of these streaming services that we can watch this content on. Like, you can watch it on Crunchyroll. If it's not on Crunchyroll, 9 times out of 10 it's on Hulu. Exactly. Netflix having their own stuff is.
The only thing that Netflix got that pissed me off is 7 Deadly Sins, and that's the only thing. That's the only reason I still got Netflix. 7 Deadly Sins and a few random series that come up that I enjoy.
Hey, but Cyberpunk Edge Runners though.
That was amazing too. But I don't think they're going to make another one unless they make like a spinoff. I don't think they're making like a sequel. But that was a gem. They don't even got to try to bring that back. I couldn't
see them coming back. I could see them being like, "This is it. This is Cyberpunk Edge Runners," and I wouldn't be mad at that.
It was amazing though. That was a surprise, like diamond in a rough. Like that, we did not see that coming.
But that goes back to the mesh thing that you were talking about. Like, Cyberpunk was a video game, and then for them to spin it and turn it into an anime, with that style and them telling their own type story, like, that was dope.
But this is how stuff starts. This is why the elitists, y'all need to calm down. Cyberpunk was originally a board game.
Oh, for real?
It was like not necessarily like Dungeons and Dragons style, but it was a tabletop game where you make your character and all this other stuff. They integrated that into a video game, and then it became an anime. because some of the purists who played the board game, even though I'm not gonna say it wasn't big, but the casual nerd wouldn't have never heard of it. They're like, y'all, they didn't do this part, they didn't do this part in the video game, but the video game got notoriety, which gave the anime
Once they
notoriety.
fixed it.
Yeah, but then the anime got big, had people go back and play the fixed version of the video game. Now there's a good chance we're going to get a second video game. It all comes full circle when a family of like new stuff gets bigger and gets more notoriety. It comes back.
I'm not surprised that the anime industry has grown this much, because it just is so much at this point that is falling into it.
Mm-hmm.
The shows, the clothing, the conventions, even the cosplay.
These cosplays cold now.
Yeah,
they cold.
So like, I foresee it continue growing. I see it on that level to where it's gonna be common, alongside being a DC fan, a Marvel fan, an Avatar fan. It just rose up to it's normal. You like anime? Okay, cool. Which ones?
Even now, like the kind of unique shelf statues, like Funko's just a company on its own. I love the anime stuff, but like now I walk into a Barnes and Noble and like the little cheap, not even the chibis, just the little replica action figures of different anime characters. They're just sitting there, and I thought that stuff was only like in box lunch or in Japan. Now you're seeing even that little stuff become more widespread. It's just growing, bro.
Yeah. And like you said before, sometimes is the companies are going where the money is.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it's cool for consumers that the manga and these statues and this clothing is coming more accessible.
Yeah.
That if you wanted a shirt of your favorite anime character, it's nothing to get one.
You can actually find it now.
Right. Like, if you wanted to read the manga for your favorite anime, you could go on Amazon right now and get it. You could go to Right Stuff Anime and get it. Like,
Barnes & Noble manga section ain't doing nothing but getting bigger and bigger.
Right. So I think it's dope. That is, for those reasons, that it's coming more easy for us to enjoy this content.
Mm-hmm.
But that is all the time we have today. So one, I want to thank you, Ron, for joining me on our first episode of season 4 of the Blerd Mob podcast. I want to thank everybody who's been listening, whether this is your first time or 50th time listening. The watches, the listens are already always appreciated. Make sure you check out the description, whether you're listening or watching, and check out our affiliate links for Right Stuff Anime and Entertainment Earth. We've already talked about the anime industry and the Funko Pop, so make sure you check out both so you guys can also get you some manga and some Funkos. Follow us on our socials. We're on Instagram at the Blerd Mob Pod. We're on Twitter at the Blerd Mob, and you can find us on Facebook and TikTok at the Blerd Mob Podcast. And with that being said, this is the mob checking out. Peace. I think Drake would have had to start like in his 2016 era, like when he dropped that "What a Time to Be Alive" album with Future.
He would have needed to do collabs off rip.
He was gonna have to start there.
Yep. Yeah.